introducing ourselves to the public. I'll start to my left.
Right, Janet Hasty.
Micah Hill.
Mickey Arnold.
Ray Presley.
And I'm Matt Oker, and we do have a quorum here. We have 4 voting members of the board. And right now we'll move into agenda item number 2, which is citizens to be heard. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter that is not on the agenda. To address the board of directors, please sign the sign-in sheet before the meeting begins. Each member of the public who appears before the board of directors shall be limited to maximum 5 minutes to make his or her remarks. Again, we're good. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, the board of directors cannot discuss or take action on any item which has not been posted on the agenda. Ms. Henderson?
I just wanted to thank y'all for looking at your budget. We got it. We appreciate to know that y'all looked at it hard and reviewed it and made some cuts, and we as a school district appreciate that. So I definitely want to thank y'all for.
All right, we appreciate that. Anything else?
No, I'm just here to hear the other, but I appreciate and I can say it now, I can say it when y'all get to the reappraisal plan, whatever you prefer.
Okay, yeah, just try to get my attention if there's something you want to interject.
Yeah, good.
Okay, there's no one else for citizens to be heard, so we're gonna move along to agenda item number 3, which is public hearing and possible discussion and approval of 2027-2028 reappraisal plan. Do we have a motion to take this under consideration?
I make a motion that we take it into consideration.
All right, we have a second?
I will second that motion.
A motion, a second, any discussion?
I have a couple things I'd like to discuss.
You have the floor, ma'am.
Alright, so. I wanted to just ask a question about, I guess. If you look on page 5, on the 3rd paragraph. Business plan is intended, that paragraph. And then the last says it's not intended to be a complete, that last sentence that I'm referring to. So if you go on the next page, page 6, and it's 1.3 use of the plan, it almost is exactly the same thing. And I was just wondering, do we need them in both places? They're saying just a tad bit different.
Janet, on
Probably
page
just-
5, where was it at again? The plan is intended.
Yeah, it's the last
Okay.
sentence in that paragraph. It is not intended. Is almost the same thing as the second sentence of 1.3 on the next page.
Yeah, I guess because it's just a summary in the beginning and this is just where it lies in the plan.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're okay with that. That's not great.
Okay. I mean, we can take one of those out. It's not a big deal. If it's, now's the time.
34-page document, so to me, anything we can take down would be good.
Yeah, which spot seems the most reasonable for removal?
To me, I
I think
think,
it's summary.
yeah, I think the
But
summary.
I think if it's part of your plan and your purpose, you leave it at
I
1.3.
agree with
So
that.
it is where the sentence starts, it is not intended?
Yeah.
Got it.
Just remove that one.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna delete it is not intended out of the summary. Oh, we're gonna eat that sentence.
That whole sentence.
Yes.
Okay, so on page 16, under 5.1, generally accepted appraisal practices. The first 2 paragraphs, the first sentence of each paragraph is almost exactly the same.
Which
And
number, I'm sorry.
5.1, the first 2 paragraphs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We can. This one might be removed, that's boilerplate, wording that is real common around appraisal districts. Every time you see that generally accepted appraisal practices, that's just, it's a given, but it just ends up being everywhere.
Okay,
How about if we remove that first sentence in the second paragraph?
Yep, and then
just shift the
add,
rest
yep,
of
that's
it?
exactly what I was thinking. Shift up, the district considers the cost into the first paragraph.
Did you get that, Val?
First sentence
Yep.
gone.
and I had a question about page 18, the last paragraph of 5.5 at the top of the page. The district's objective is to produce values that reflect market value and uniformity, except where a different statutory standard apply. So we would have a different statutory, we would have a statutory standard that doesn't reflect market values and uniformity.
Val?
I would almost think that's relating to the
Ag appraisal?
well, probably ag appraisal,
That's
it's
a-
a different standard.
That's all I can think of,
Okay.
is that.
I just thought, well, that just sounds weird to me. I'm okay with that, cause that ag appraisal is weird.
A special appraisal, sometimes called an exemption, but it's not an exemption.
And then on page 22, 6.4. Under the NUIP is, are we gonna keep that P and A follows their own appraisal, creative plus plan in red? Is that gonna stay in red?
I don't think it needs to.
I don't think it needs to.
So we'll just make that regular color.
And then under 6.4 in general, the very first sentence there, you say you have contracted with Richard and Abbott. And then you have P and A, but down below, so you told who they are, and then down below, you said several times. About 5 times, you say the contracted appraisal firm. Should we just say the specific property reviews by P and A instead of the contracted appraisal firm? If we're stating that's who the appraisal firm is, or do we need to state who the appraisal firm is?
That would be my question is, do we have to state it?
Yeah.
Number 2, we're doing this every 2 years. How long is the contracted appraisal firm contracted for?
So it might
versus
be
that?
better to take it out, but take their name out and leave the rest of this the same.
But it would depend on whether it's required or not.
It is not required to name them.
My thought process was just if we are gonna name them, we should, instead of calling them the
Instead
contracted
of-
appraisal firm, say
right.
P and A.
When we name them up here in 6.4. At the beginning, Pritchard and Abbott, parentheses P and A. And then we, again in red. And then after that, I'm just making sure I understand, and then
So
after
it's
that,
it's also in 6.4, it's in twice in 6.4 A once, 6.4 B, the contracted appraisal firm,
right,
and 6.4 C is the contracted appraisal firm.
But do we want to change this to P and A or do we want to take out P? Is the question, I think.
I don't know.
Anybody have a preference?
I don't like rewriting documents surrounding,
That's
somebody
specific,
who might
yeah,
not be there.
Because if you take it out completely, then you don't have to do that. You can say each time it's a contract that whoever we've contracted, and that's public information if somebody wants to know.
It's a nice side note, but yeah.
So where it says the district appraises the new IP property with assistance from a contracted appraisal firm, period,
Mhm.
and then that just ends.
Mhm.
That just ends. The next sentence isn't even necessary, right?
Mhm.
Or
Well,
And we would, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we would move up then that other, where it starts with MUIP property may require appraisal methods. We would move that up behind it so that it's not just a one line paragraph.
And then you, instead of P and A follows their own, the one that's in red,
mhm,
we would just say the contractor appraisal firm follows their own appraisal plan.
correct, yeah. I think we
may
need to
follow
say
their
it,
own.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem. That's good. That is good. That takes away the,
Have to change that.
yeah.
Alright, let's see. So on page, I'll just start with, on page 23 and 24, when you talk about the agriculture advisory board. You mention it several times, but when we get down to about the 4th or 5th time of talking about it, you refer to it as the district's agricultural advisory board.
Okay.
So should we just say that the first time we mention it?
Can we show me where?
Oh, I'm sorry. Where we say the districts is in, the top of 24,
Yeah.
65A3. The second, third line from the bottom. Easier.
Well, I leave you on, that's
Oh, it's starting at 5:15.
People finally respect this body.
Yes, ma'am, I'm signing. Yes, ma'am.
So you see where she's talking.
I do, I'm just wondering, I wanted to get rid of the word district unless that causes confusion, like it would seem like there's such thing as a agricultural advisory board
I'm
that
sorry.
governs the.
See, that was mine when I was reading it the first time and we were reviewing this. I was saying, is it the state of Texas Agricultural Advisory Board? And you said, no, it's the district.
So it almost seems like we need to just say that.
People like, people may not know. It's
No, I
not-
think-
But I was just thinking if we're gonna do it, we should just say it's the first time.
Yes,
And which the first time it's mentioned is in, on page 23, 65A, the second paragraph.
that's the first time we say,
Agriculture Advisory Board, so we could just say from the district,
it in 6.5A, right,
yes.
from the district. Yeah, I got you. Did you get that, Val?
And
I
then-
know you're moving around.
Right,
But it's in
so.
6.5A in the second paragraph,
Mhm.
we would, information from the agricultural advisory board would go, information from the district's agriculture advisory board, and then we wouldn't repeat the word district after that.
Okay,
Okay, and it says all on my,
Well, it's, so, but it is repeated over here on 24, is that what you?
we're gonna take that out.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm. That was my question.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Hey, you weren't there for the hours we've done this before.
I know, I was actually surprised you found that much after we spent time posting.
I'm pretty good at my.
I
I went over some other stuff.
I just gotta let that opportunity pass me by.
I just say y'all can.
Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate it. Is there anyone else has any other revisions, questions, comments?
Did you have any comments on this? Isn't that what you were here for?
Just to say, we appreciate, we know y'all looked at this and looked at many different ways, and again, the district appreciates y'all continuing with the same practices you have in the past.
All right. Yeah, appreciate that. And this is not like, the deviation here is like nothing, right? Pretty much, so.
It's just a better,
Yes, ma'am.
The formatting is so different because the first time I read it, I was so confused, and I think the way that Val and Ray came up to format it makes it so much easier.
it's our second document. It's a personnel policy and now this, I think they're actually working documents that will just be around for a while. Making changes to them, but their format is good. Redundancy was the killer of the other ones. Cause it was copy and paste, so it was to the point of just not good.
Got a little Frankenstein.
Yes, yes.
Okay, is there anything else? Or are we ready to move for a vote up or down? All right, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor of, let me get the approval of the 2027-2028 reappraisal plan, signify by saying aye.
This
has been.
Aye.
Aye for me, so, the appraisal plan, any nays? Hearing none, fine, nothing. Okay, so yeah, we got that, we're adopted there.
and then there's a little resolution to sign,
Alrighty then.
and then.
You're gonna make changes.
Right.
Okay.
But this is separate, if it's okay if I make the changes.
That's okay. Okay.
Board secretary. Are y'all all right with me?
Incorporated in here.
So you need to make those
That
changes.
way I talked about
They're not
Yeah,
significant.
It's not in there.
it.
It's- No, but no act.
On the document.
Okay.
The act that you want to change,
No.
it's already a lot.
Plan.
Oh,
It's a lot of things.
Fine, you.
What you're asking, oh, the thing that you wrote, it's already. It's a thing.
Okay, we can do it, it's a thing.
Anybody could.
Okay,
It's. We can talk about it in the.
that's fine, no, I don't want to interrupt.
No, no, but it's okay, it's just, what,
No, go ahead, y'all go and know what you do.
we're here at your leisure.
You are, not the rest of the board.
Okay, all right, moving along, agenda item number 4, discussion and possible action regarding APISD Board of Trustees resolution on August 10th, 2026. August 15th, the deadline for the board of directors to adopt a resolution regarding 6.031. Ray, do you wanna take this one, or you want me to do it, or what do you think?
Well,
Y'all want a copy of the resolution? I didn't know if you were gonna look specifically at this or
I brought.
ours.
Yeah, if you got, please, copies.
I'm curious what the board thinks. I do have an opinion
Okay.
about it, and my opinion is that APISD actually can't object. They can ask us to, they could ask this board to write it differently, but they actually don't have the ability to object because of them not losing anything. I think that the way the code, I think the intent of the code is that you can't lose a spot. So the only real objectors to this would have needed to have been RFISD or Aransas County. I think APISD would have a different opinion than I do though. I think they would say that they're entitled, and then you would get into this back and forth about that 1989 resolution. So I don't mean it just in any disrespect to them, it's just, not that I would, but in the code, I think that the intention is that you can't change someone's voting.
Well, and then it comes down to what it literally says, that you can go up to not more than 13. Unless the governing body of a taxing unit that is entitled to vote on an appointment opposes or objects it, and then the current composition, they are not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
But what we had talked about before in the word parent, I think I get it.
does everybody know what their?
I think that would be good to discuss.
I would like to change it,
Yeah.
if it is
Yes.
an opposition from.
Yeah,
someone.
I think there's other words we could use.
But I don't know
So
that we can
go
do it
ahead
this
and
year because the
change.
date has passed.
Yeah, so we received an email, right, that came in, and it was, APISD just objected to the language, which somebody was really looking at this pretty closely, but where it says, where we say the parent, you know, basically, so RFISD is supposed to take into account, APISD and AISD or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, take into account their wishes for an appointment, and the same with the city of Rockport, supposed to do that with the town of Fulton. And so we called those parent, like RFISD, a parent organization, and APISD was just, they didn't want to give off the impression that somehow they were, you know, they didn't have their own autonomy outside of, like, they're, you know, they're completely independent, you know, one doesn't have anything to do with the
So
other.
does it not have anything to do with parent in regard to schools, that maybe that parent came in that way?
No, it was,
They just don't want it to.
yeah, they don't want,
Hierarchy.
yeah, they don't want to seem like they're under someone else's umbrella. And I said, well, you know, I understand that. I actually talked to the, what is it, what niece?
Yes.
Butler, yeah, I talked to her, she's the president of the school board in APSD, and we had a couple of conversations, and at first, you know, she brought this to my attention, I said, okay, well, yeah, I'll take a look at it, and then she called me back, because she was concerned about this derailing, you know, what we've done thus far, and I said, look, in my opinion, I said, you know, the taxing agents are the only ones that can kind of get us in trouble, if you will. And I said, in my opinion, if we're not changing anything substantive, if we change or take a word out, we change a word, whatever, to me, it doesn't change anything. Our resolution is already in under the timeline, in my opinion. But if the board feels differently, you know, we can go with it however y'all want to. Any thoughts?
Nikki, you think we shouldn't change it this year?
I just worry about the deadline. I totally get the logistics of it. It was not the intent to create a hierarchy, or anything within what was said there. I think it would just be a matter of if we feel we could amend the resolution wording. We're just after our deadline to adopt a resolution, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the 15th.
Correct.
My thought is just because the way it's worded in the code, it speaks about the resolution that deviates from what I call a voter apportionment system. So if we don't fundamentally change what we're proposing, to me, that, you know, the substance of the resolution's already been adopted. I don't know. I mean, you know, I can make an argument either way.
Yeah.
I would lean the other way, that amending the resolution would be
Re-adopting
creating,
it,
would
right.
be creating a new
You
resolution.
go with that lawyer stuff again.
And we're trying to get out of the problem that we're in, so we wanna keep it as clean as possible. Even if we think we're changing something very insignificant, who knows, some of the voting taxing entities could object to whatever word we changed it to.
Right.
Well, cause
Right.
I look at, I think of like. If we were, I mean, we're a governmental entity making. We're adopting resolutions and doing all that, if we compare the same thing to commissioners court. If they were to go back and adopt and amend a previous resolution that people have relied on for other things beyond the deadline. Doesn't seem right without a whole new resolution actually occurring.
That would depend on if I support it or not.
Let's say you don't. Now we're in the argument, we're right.
What you say, Nick? I'm sorry.
I don't know, I didn't know exactly what I was going to say, but they have entities in general, others, have until the 15th of September. To potentially still do the same thing, correct?
Yeah, we could just have them adopt it and then it only takes 3/4 instead of.
Well, no, I mean, they have, now that this has gone out, but don't the entities have until September 15th to?
They do have, but is it the 15th? I think it's the end of August. I think the
September
15th was reappraisal plan budget. That's the 15th, and I think the to object or whatever would be doing a grab.
September 1, yeah, that's book.
Yeah. I think it's September 1.
Nobody put a baby in the corner.
See, it's September 15th occupies reappraisal plan budget and then changes to board composition or financial composition is.
Oh, the September 15th says that so then we would have to come down to, do we consider them an entitled to vote entity? Number one, and then number two, if an entitled to vote entity does oppose it by September 1, the board has to notify in writing of all of the other participating taxing units by September 15th.
The 15th is still there.
Yes.
It's part of it. It's part of that's how long we have.
And has anybody heard anything from any of the other taxing entities?
City, again, just in passing, has said they have no objections, not formally.
Have you guys?
We have not, as far as I've heard,
Oh,
that is not something I would hear.
I had a councilman ask me yesterday about it and I just explained it and he was like, oh, okay. That's how that went. I thought he was talking about Atari at first.
So our deadline to adopt it was August.
August 15th,
So
correct?
what does that do for us now? So we're not gonna be able to get it changed this year?
Well, if we consider them a taxing unit entitled to vote, then yes, they have opposed it.
But they're not.
Both of them. That I believe is for us to interpret or accept Ray's interpretation or not.
Well, they're not a taxing unit entitled to them, but entitled to the Aransas ISD.
Correct.
currently they are not.
Perfect.
ISDs in the code, though, hang around the word entitled. They do hang in that, ISDs, counties and cities. But in the decisions that were made in this county in the past,
Correct. They would have had to submit a resolution in order to be.
yes,
considered.
and so I think technically, even though they're an ISD, they can't oppose the resolution. I wouldn't wanna have to, you know.
You can make that call.
I thought this was the one I don't have to make. Was it? I mean, I don't,
So we don't consider them a taxing unit, which in my personal opinion, I don't consider them a taxing unit. And so then nobody opposes it and then it will get changed.
I think we can, as soon as January rolls around, we could adopt it with rewording and say this is no new composition.
So
It is.
what are the rules? So we sent out our resolution or whatever, and they have now opposed it. What are the rules on amending due to Okay, we've already, did we adopt the resolution before their,
Yes, we did it
Opposition
in
to it.
May 12th.
and we did it. Well within our rights and with plenty of notice, so
I think the bummer of it is if it's opposed, then the rights are removed from this board and are placed on the entities, and it's sort of like saying, okay, you guys didn't like that. What are you gonna do? Like you're
Sweet.
opposing it, so then this board would be past the 15th and wouldn't be able to say anything. Just by dates. So it would be left to an entity to do.
Well, and we're trying to avoid the old, this is how it was done before, that's why we went through everything we went through. And I feel like we finally almost got there, but I believe if it doesn't, it may have to go back to the percentage and the numbers and the formulas and the.
that not until the next year, right? We've had the deadline that we have to do stuff. If you're gonna have the vote is technically supposed to happen in November, isn't it? Isn't that why the May 15th deadline is there? So we have resolutions by everybody that we needed to. We have our resolution, we have everything for the next year's board. Now, maybe that one, we need to redo it, taking this into account.
Right.
But I don't think this undoes what undoes. Undoes what we've already done.
Yeah.
Right?
I hesitantly agree with you.
And so am I?
I'd straight face
understanding-
argue that to a judge all day long.
Am I understanding correctly, and then their only thing that they are opposing
Is the wording.
is the wording,
Yes.
not the
Not the
way that
position.
they're going to, yeah.
Correct.
Not me too.
Is it possible for a board of directors to issue a letter that says, we hear what you're saying, we're gonna make this change, but we're not making it
Actually, a
until.
great suggestion, and
until this
that we
date.
reach out to them directly via official from us. That says we 100% agree with the wording, we're willing to amend that, but we're after our deadline.
Yeah.
But we will,
Can we give them a
revisit
date
it.
in which we would, which would be the first of the year?
well, after the first of the year when,
Mhm.
actually, I think it. Between June and October, so after June 30th, I think we can do it. Cause we have a window of when we can.
That's fine with me.
I think that sounds like a good idea also.
Would
I
that
don't wanna
letter-
discredit what they
Right,
feel
right.
and that, but
Would that
trying
letter
to
go
stay
to
within
who?
the.
Would
I
that
feel like
letter-
we should send it to everyone.
Everybody that signed this one, yeah.
It says that if someone opposes it, again, whether we consider it or not, we have to send them to everyone. And so we put their opposition and our letter with it to everyone.
Okay. And we talk about in that letter that the change that's being made is not substantive. It's not a substantive.
Substandard.
You're right, you got it.
Yeah, it's not that kind of change, it's a change in
Phonetically, you were
Yeah.
correct there.
That's the way I see it.
the tough word. Yeah,
Yeah, that's.
And I like what Nikki was saying about it. What you said about it being a change in the language and not a change in the
Opposition.
composition.
Yeah, 'cause she did say they were fine with,
Right,
you know, how the board be populated.
okay.
Is that a motion or is that just what we're in?
I don't know that it's an actionable,
It's a discussion and possible action regarding APIs, the board of trustees resolution.
Well, our action could be to send a letter.
yeah.
So we wanna have a motion on that?
I make a motion that we draft a letter from the board of directors to the taxing entities. Explaining the opposition of APISD being of language and not composition. And that we'll revisit it in the next year.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion second, any further discussion? All those in favor, aye? Aye. All those opposed, nay? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, good, so. Who's gonna draft that?
I will work with Val on drafting about that.
Sounds good.
Y'all need anything from me on that? We can sign it. Good.
But we'll send it to you though, if you want.
whatever, I'm good. Okay, we're moving on the agenda here. Agenda item number 5, Chief Appraiser's Report. I guess that would be you, Mr. President.
Okay, the report is, we haven't got any bank minutes back. Not yet.
When is it closed?
September 30th. If that's off the top of my head, I'll look it up while you're talking.
My plan is, after, the end of August to contact the city of Rockport and schedule a meeting about them appointing for the 2027 year. And, if anybody on the board wants to be a part of that, just let me, just send me an email. And, contacted the city and let them know that we'd like to talk with them and, see how things are gonna be done, what their plans are. And just answer questions if they have any. I have, 2 conferences that I'm going to. Consider,
He says that there's such a fight.
consider the pressure work and, the big thing to talk about is, the appraisal district. This is a really big issue. The appraisal district, we are going to change our cost schedules. For the first time since 2010. So it's an issue. And so our cost schedules are as if it's 2010. So if you go build a house, our cost evaluation, I'm being redundant, but I just want to make sure I try to get this out. Our cost evaluation would be like, you're building this house in 2010, the lumber 2010, the profit 2010, the architecture, all of that is from 2010 Marshall and Swift. It's never been updated. It's the way it has been updated. It's been updated by not updating the data, the matrices. It's been updated by creating adjustments. So we've been multiplicative. We've said multiply cost times 1.03. We said that at some point in time.
Like for CPI adjustment or
And
something?
then multiply it again times 1.1. Maybe that happened 5 years later. And so all of our adjustments are multiplicative, and that's run its course. So if you think about it, if for us to get to market, if you build a house somewhere, we're having to multiply it 3 different times to get to the value of the house. And no one works here who is a part of that. And I'm saying that to say, we can't be the caretakers of that data. We don't have any inside knowledge of it. I don't know,
Where do other appraisal districts get?
they update their cost schedules.
And how do they update them?
It's, I wish
I
there
mean, is
was.
it like regional? I'm guessing it is.
Oh, you buy it, you buy
Oh, you
cost schedules
buy it.
from Marshall and Swift,
Oh, okay.
it's called Core Logic. It's just a company, and there's other companies, they're all. I mean, it's like, you know, the difference between Snap-on and Mac Tools, it's just like this. Yeah, because it works on stuff, yeah. And so it's all kind of the same. And then the way cost schedules work is they're great because they devise the cost schedule built in with profit, but then they also will help you arrive at how much it costs to insulate. And all of that gets built in, how much it costs to draw, how much it costs to engineer, and then how much it costs in the state or the region you live in. Like, for example, we may not feel this way, but cost schedules in South Texas are multiplied times 0.9 because Texas is actually cheaper than other states to get materials. So we're gonna implement all of that and change all of our depreciation schedules. Every single one.
Is this something you already budgeted for?
The budget is just yes, we're budgeted for it. The appraisal staff knows, they're on board, I'd say they're happy and unhappy. They know that it has to be done, it's not necessarily, you know, it's gonna change every value in the county. There's no way around it. Every single value in the county will change in 2027. And they'll change up, down, sideways.
Do you have a projection what you think the ballpark overall would be?
It's looking like somewhere between 6 and 8% up in improvements. That's what it's looking like. I'm having to, when we're talking about changing depreciation schedules, depreciation is easy to think about but hard to deal with. And so I'm not super confident yet that 6 to 8% is right. I just think it's right from what I've seen. We have a test database. I put it in the test database and ran it through the test database. It came out at 8%. Of an improvement value change over the county. One of the things that this will do is if you kind of think in your head of an older neighborhood, new neighborhoods don't matter because of uniformity, but you got to picture something older, and I really shouldn't name a neighborhood. That's not the right thing for us to do. But you can picture it in your head.
Yeah.
What's happened is the things that have sold in the last 10 years, those things have like little flags on them because they've been looked at. And then you'll often hear someone say, well, in my neighborhood, my house is valued here, and this house and this house and this house and this house are all valued here. And they're often homes that haven't transacted. And that's because the attention that something gets as being a sale.
Mhm.
So the cost schedule is going to be mindless in that, and it's going to pull up. It's going to pull up. It's going to be replacement cost new, less depreciation goes to everybody, whether or not you've sold or not. It's appropriate. It's the right thing to do. It's just, I wouldn't do it if, I kind of wrung my hands about it, you know?
Okay, so let me give an example. So my house, I'm just gonna say, I'm not saying where it is. It was built in 22.
Yeah.
So you would do the cost schedule
Mhm.
based on new build, and then you would depreciate it based on those 4 years.
Exactly. Yes. So that is how cost works. Replacement cost.
But
new,
then you
less
have all those
depreciation.
other variables.
But here's another way to think about it is, your house, it has been cost, less replacement cost new, times an adjustment modifier, say 2.15% to get to market. Because we've been operating as a cost schedule that's 16 years old.
Oh,
What's gonna happen is it's gonna be replacement cost new, less depreciation, and now it's gonna be multiplied by like 1.2. 1.15, that adjustment modifier is gonna drop. Because it's just trying to get to market.
and the adjustment modifier is gonna be, where are you gonna get that from?
We get that from sales.
Okay.
So the adjustment modifier is what sales tell you about what something is selling for in an area. So the cost of it is just simply what it cost. This is just like reproducible over and over and over again. The modifier is the thing that says what does something cost versus what does something sell for. So for example, if you started having costs and then the modifier ends up being 0.95, you could say that what you're telling people is, hey, don't build a house right there. Like, that's not the best place to build a house because the market isn't recognizing the thing that you see. It's not producing the data. But if the cost produced an adjustment of like 1.35, then you could say that's a really good place to build a house. It's 35% improvement value over what it costs you to build
What do you
it.
think about doing like a workshop on this later for public, like it's going to affect everyone. And if we at least put the information when you have hard facts of how it could affect people, everyone's gonna.
I'm thinking about it. Nikki, I've been thinking, I've even thought, is this a time when we could use Facebook and actually talk on Facebook? You're saying no. I have thought about it. I have this, anytime I've ever talked publicly, I've been dominated by someone who uses that as an opportunity. It's so hard to just go have a conversation other than one-on-one.
There's this guy named Walter Perry. Okay,
Yeah.
and you can get with him on the Facebook.
Yeah, we can get it all done. So I'm apprehensive, but I know that, the option is, the option is you don't do it. That's the option. And then one day I
Someone's
say,
going to do it.
I don't wanna do this anymore. And then someone who comes in that has no care as far as like anybody's feelings, they come in and they go, who was running the show? Why is this data from 2010? Why are we adjusting? Why are citizens having to see incredibly large adjustments every time an evidence package is filled? You could also say in 2017, we have 700 protests and the whole office would be stressed. Literally, like the office is freaking out, 700 protests. How are we gonna do it? We had 3,700 protests this year. Well, it emphasizes this. This comes out. Someone gives you an evidence package and you're like, how come these adjustments are so big? Well, it's because when things are multiplicative, they grow.
So how do you, so for this replacement cost, how do you quantify that? Like, because obviously you don't know what's in a house unless you know every detail about the house, but is it kind of by a square footage, and then you kind of have a plus for a veneer or minus for a siding, and then if it has a fireplace, if it has attached garage, is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's the issue with mass appraisal and the need for equalization is because the appraiser is supposed to assume that the outside of the house reflects the inside of the house, but doesn't know. So you could have someone build something super nice on the outside, but the inside is builder's grade.
Yeah,
And you could have somebody build a rectangle and on the inside is Sub-Zero refrigerator, and it's just like,
like Coming to America.
but yeah, it'd be wonderful. And so we're always gonna struggle with that, but.
And that's what, I mean, most of the time, that's what the protest is for, to ferret that out,
Yeah, there
they bring
should
it
be
there.
a really good conversation where
Yeah.
someone says, so if you take the old neighborhood example, someone comes in and says, hey, this house sold this house and sold this one, and I know it, but my house has Formica countertops, single pane windows. And what they're talking about is quality, also known as depreciation, and that needs to show up in the depreciation schedule. Where you get into a little bit of trouble is when you've got an adjustment at 250% hitting that thing, then it's there's you can't even hardly talk about cost. I mean, what are you gonna say? Like, we're adjusting this whole neighborhood at 2.15. So anything that you do, it's still being adjusted at 2.15. And then on top of that, depending on where you live, you may notice this. You may live in a neighborhood where all the homes are 2,000 square feet, and then all of a sudden there's a 5,000 square foot home. Well, if you're multiplying to get to value, 5,000 square feet multiplicative, and it's just gonna go straight up. You have no control over the arch of change. It just jumps straight up. And so, in my view, this has to be done. And I've thought about this for a year. Because I don't want to do it. There's no part of me that is thinking that this is, but like, it needs to be done. We're far enough into this where it's time to do something like this, and it'll just not be, perception wise, it'll breed the conversation of someone's trying to get value into the county. It's gonna breed all that and really make all that come up, because people's values are gonna go up and down. So if there's somebody's value who goes up, that's gonna do one thing, and I know that, but.
I mean, I think the more information we can get out to the public to kind of get in front of that, probably the better,
I agree, I just don't know how to do it.
Maybe pre-recorded videos, maybe if you're having issues that way, make it not so interactive. Just push information.
Yeah,
They can still react to it, they can still ask questions, reach out, but it's not,
you think social media is a bad idea?
I think social media is a bad idea for a lot of things. Yeah.
Stay off those dating sites, Ray, come on.
We live by the one on.
But it is a huge push in our community. People in the community use it, so
Yeah.
that's the plus.
That's what I thought.
It's a reach.
That's what I thought, is that,
Well, and it also,
It
it's
might be a
accessible,
good
so-
place to have it just to say, we have these things on our website now, or I still I like the in-person things. And I know you don't, but Ray, you have the personality that,
I don't mind them. I've just never been to one where someone didn't take that opportunity.
well, it's because
To
of the
just-
job you have, that's why.
But it always like, you know, when like a comedian's on stage and someone's heckling them, and then they go, can you get this person out of the room? And then they can they can get through it.
Well, we'll have Matt on standby
Yeah.
as somebody to.
I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know how to do it. I've just.
The only thing I wanna tell them, but too, I don't wanna get down too deep into the weeds, because some people, it'll just confuse them more than anything. I think they need to know there's a change, and I think it would be great, I know we're always off from doing this, but if we had the cost models already developed, the new ones, and we could actually show them, this is a house, you know,
Sure.
and this is what it is, and this is how it's gonna change, and maybe
Yeah.
run through an actual. I'm more into seeing the actual examples and visuals.
It's what's so crazy about this is gonna fix so much stuff. It's fixing so much stuff. It's fixing adjustments. It's fixing the presentation of the evidence package. It's fixing appraisers' ability. Like if you hired a new appraiser and they came in and they were out in the field having to work and they're using 2010 data, then they're having to overcome that. Like this fixes all of it. But at the same time, it also changes the values of everybody in the county. I mean, including me, everybody in this room. Somebody in this room is gonna go up, somebody in this room is gonna go
I
down.
was gonna say, not everybody, come on.
You're right, it does that, so I mean, I'd be very curious about the numbers of, the percentage of increase.
Yeah, it's
up and
8%.
down. Not the actual increase, but how many are affected, or
Hmm.
how many properties are affected. That's pretty easy data to cover.
So when do you think you have the new cost schedules and all that information that you could start figuring out what the changes?
Oh, I mean, I don't. I may not have it by the time we're sending notices out. I mean, I have the data, but it's so, like, we're talking about rebuilding the entire database, one property at a time. We'll have to check every single property. There's no way around it. There's no simple way to do something like this. If we had a bunch of, I'm gonna say a neighborhood, if we had a bunch of neighborhoods that had the same houses in them over and over again, this would be absolutely nothing. Nothing would happen. No one would even be able to tell that something happened, because it would just balance out. It's the fact that we don't have that.
So you're saying you're not gonna get new software and it's gonna say, oh, collect this data now, and ding, that's all you're gonna have to do.
No.
You're gonna have to go into, isn't it 31,000
Yes.
properties that you have to go into individually? So
Well,
is it
Some of those.
sufficient to say that not everybody's would be changed?
Everybody's will be changed. Everybody's will be changed in one day, and then we're backing everything down. Because the cost schedules just go in. Nobody
Okay,
wants
so
to see the
yeah.
cost schedules. That's like looking at numbers on. I mean, it's just cost schedules. It's just like 200 square feet.
But I thought you said you have to change every property individually.
We will, after the cost schedules are changed, we'll have to go in to every neighborhood, every subdivision, one property at a time and see how it did.
To take out the multipliers that you're using
To
now.
make sure that it's right, because that's kind of what I meant about,
Yeah.
we can't caretake somebody else's data. That's an issue. Like, I hope that makes sense,
So
like,
in theory, with something like this, is this more something that should be done annually?
that's what the beauty is. Then it'll be done every year, no one will ever know. If we had been doing it that way, no one would ever know, would never even talk about it. Are appraisal districts doing it every year? Yes, they are. Have I been talking to them? Yes, I have. I mean, like, that is the reality, Kevin, is once this is done, then all you do from here on out is get the updated Marshall and Swift data, which comes out every 2 years. And you look at it and you go, what's the change? And if it's nominal, you don't do anything. You're not worried about nickels.
Right.
But if there's some part of the economy that something has happened, like in deflation potentially could happen. If anything like that, then you'd want to account for it. And then what happens is your neighborhood adjustments look more like what you would make on a spec house, which is 10-15%. Some number that is more reasonable for someone to understand, instead of me saying instead of someone at the appraisal district saying, well, the market adjustment for your neighborhood is 280%. That doesn't make any sense. And then every number in your evidence package is multiplied times that adjustment. We've got to get out of that. We have to get out of it. We don't have to. We keep going, but every year that we don't do it, I don't feel comfortable with it at this point. We have way too many protests. We're sending out tons of evidence packages over. And then I know.
Is
I
it
say that
gonna,
now.
is it gonna really stop that? I mean, it'll make
No, but
job defending.
It'll make it easier for us because we talk to thousands of people, because we also do inquiries. And what we do most of the time is build like if you came into the office and said, hey, I want to see this, we would just build an evidence package while you're there and say, here's what our data says. What do you think about this? That's what we would do. What we want to get out of is that our data has such large adjustments
From 2010.
from
now.
2010 to now.
If you hand somebody a data set from a year or two ago, it's
The most-
much more defensible.
The most common
especially
thing that
after-
happens is we hand someone a property card and they go, this number right here says 99,000, but this number up here says 350,000. What is that? And then we have to tell them, well, 99,000 times this number over here equals this. And what will happen is
And
this
we're-
number will go up to 325,000.
Right.
This number will stay at 350, but then we'll be able to say, well, we're multiplying it times 1.03. That's the market.
Because of market change.
That's the market change, which is where we want to get to. We're a coastal community and a destination place, so the ability for us to get away from a market adjustment is almost zero, unless people stop coming here and paying whatever they want to pay to get here. The part about this that I don't like is not the concept of what's selling. The concept that I don't like about it, and there's no way around it, is the middle will be pulled up. Cause the middle is lagging because there's no data on it. Nobody knows anything about it, so it's instantly gonna receive a cost schedule update. And
I
it's,
mean, the middle by those.
The middle-
The
sold in
non,
the
the
wild.
non-sale.
yeah, the
sold
middle,
houses.
like the low is low because of quality and things that are very specific to a house not being okay, obsolescence of some sort. The high has probably been a sell in the last 10 years, so it's been looked at. The middle would be me. Like I bought in sometime, I don't remember, but you know what I mean? Like, and then that's the middle, and then so that's the person who's gonna go, hey, my value went up, what the heck? So, and there's no way around it. It's really tough. It's a tough one, but the reason values change so much is because when homes that are in the middle get sold, they sell for more than the middle. That's the hard part about all this. It's like, I'm not gonna sell my house for what the appraisal district has on it. That would be crazy. I'm in the middle. I have the equity. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what's in my house. Nobody knows anything. And I'm not gonna, I mean, what are you gonna go tell everybody? You'll find out when I list it. And that's the middle is where that data gets found out. And then the middle becomes the height. And then now they're up here and they know they're there because they bought it at that number. They don't like it. But it's the middle that hasn't sold yet that will fill this. They'll fill this a little bit.
You're literally talking about my house.
I'm maybe talking about everybody's house.
So, Jeff, you had something?
Yeah. I've asked, and I have a problem with the neighborhoods. And you know, I've talked about this a lot, and I use the example, Harbor Oaks is divided up into 6, maybe 10 neighborhoods. My neighborhood is bunched together with homes within the city of Rockport and the city of Wilton, and a large area is mine. is there any, is there any movement to redefine our neighborhoods? Because I feel like I'm being improperly assessed against homes that aren't necessarily in my neighborhood. Is there any movement afoot
Yeah.
to re-examine neighborhoods?
I can talk, am I supposed to talk about this when, am I okay to talk directly to, are we okay? When the chief or reporter, either I can talk about it now or later, but what
Yeah,
is?
a yes or no could be like.
Well, the answer is yes.
Okay.
If it's that easy, I didn't think it was that
That's
easy.
fine, that's fine, I'll leave it now. I just wanna put it on your radar.
The answer is yes, but think about it like this. Someone isn't gonna like being in a micro neighborhood for obvious reasons. They don't wanna be in a neighborhood of 6 people. They're like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
If you're in too big of a neighborhood, you kind of are able to go, but I'm not like that guy way over there, and I'm not like this guy way over here. What I've found so far is that a lot of the neighborhoods are balancing. Meaning like a neighborhood that's adjacent to another neighborhood. It used to be at 1.75 and this one was at 1.95. What I'm finding is that they could both be at 1.35.
Northward.
So there's really not a neighborhood other than there's the neighborhood of like immediate market area, cohesiveness, economic, social, that kind of stuff. So the thing that may let you down is the neighborhood labels. I don't think we'll get to those being changed. But we'll get to those neighborhood labels having the same adjustment. Does that make sense? And then the next cycle would be actually removing those neighborhood codes and the neighborhood, not removing them, making them all one. So that you didn't have that issue.
Okay,
That's the goal. And that's, so far it's happened.
yes.
Yeah.
My appraisal was good this year, so I'm not gonna. You're the one, I wanted to say that.
You're the one.
I'm the one.
I mean,
You don't raise my taxes.
it's probably a crummy way to introduce this into y'all's life, just through the cheap appraisal for the next one. But, so. That's how I did it. I could have done it a different way. But if y'all have any questions, feel free.
I'm good.
That's it, calm and you're on.
I think so, for now, and I'll be thinking about how to make it public. You know, in a good way. I've been thinking about it, I just don't ever know how to do it. I can't ever figure that one out.
Don't buy side people with appraisal days.
Yeah, yeah, don't get the cheap appraisal right there.
Okay, well, if we don't have anything else, then the last thing on our agenda is adjournment. Does anybody like to make a motion to that effect?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we have a motion, there's a second.
I'll second it.
Got a motion, and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries 5-0. We stand adjourned at 5:58.
Thank y'all again for doing, appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well.
Alright, I had this on my calendar, starting at 5:15.
I never start at 5:15.
Yeah, like, come on, dude.